Hello everyone and good day. Welcome to our Charmed Show Chat. Very excited to be here. First of all, once again, if you haven't seen my video that I did earlier today, I just want to apologize for missing the social issues chat. I'm so sorry about that. Couldn't be helped. I've been feeling rather under the weather this week. Feeling a little bit better today, so happy to do this show chat, but apologies for missing the other one. If you are in the room, say hi, and I'll definitely give you a shout out, and then we will get right into it. We've got 6 episodes to discuss this week, so won't waste any time. I'll go into the room and see who's here. Okay. So, a big hi and hello to Alias, who is here. President A says, we'll be at the chat tonight. Haven't seen Charmed for years. Will be good going down memory lane. Yes, absolutely. It's one of the great things that I love about doing this show chat is going down memory lane of Charmed. It's a lot of fun. Just so you know, Alyssa Milano's new show is Wet Hot American Summer 10 years later. Oh, cool. There you go. So we'll definitely have to look into that one as well. All right, so let's start talking about the episodes that we said we were going to cover this week. Starting off with Season 1, Episode 7. So this episode was called The Fourth Sister. It was an interesting episode. I always found this one to be, I don't know, for me quite interesting. It's about a girl named Aviva who tries to join the Halliwell Coven. The reason she's trying to join the Coven is because of this demon that lives in a mirror called Kelly that's trying to help her. And Kelly wants the Halliwell Book of Shadows so she can become really powerful. I find it overall to be an interesting episode because I like the way that Phoebe and Aviva relate to each other. I didn't enjoy Prue in this episode, I must say. But one thing that's very interesting without giving away too much at all is the aunt of Aviva, who ends up going to hospital after Aviva, accidentally sort of makes her fall downstairs, actually comes back in seasons later on down the track as a recurring character. She plays a different character, but the actress comes back. So it was good to see this actress in this episode almost foreshadowing what she's going to be doing in the future. So what did we think of this episode, The Fourth Sister, starring Aviva and Kit and everyone else that was in this one? What do we think of this episode? Give you guys some time to pen your answers in, and we'll see what you guys thought of the episode. If you are in the room and you have not said hi, say hi, and I will definitely give you a shout out. So far, I've said hi to Alias and to President A. If there's anyone else in the room, feel free to say hi. So Alias apparently hasn't seen this episode. That's not a problem at all, Alias. Well, we thank you for being here anyway, despite the fact you haven't seen the episode. We're bringing you up to speed here as we go along. Alright, so anyone got any comments at all on Season 1, Episode 7, The Fourth Sister, before I move on to the next episode? Okay, it doesn't look like anyone has any comments on that one, so let's move on and I guess talk about the next one. Alright, so the next episode, Season 1, Episode 8, is entitled The Truth is Out There and It Hurts. So this one basically centers around Prue. Prue really wants to tell Andy that she is a witch. She casts a truth spell that lasts 24 hours. To see how he will react to her being a witch. Like, one of the great things about this spell is that once the spell is over, 24 hours later, no one remembers anything. Prue does eventually have a chat with Andy, coming down to the bare minutes, and Andy ends up telling her that if he has to decide then and there that he doesn't think he will be able to cope with her being a witch, and so therefore Prue got her answer. Maybe not the one she wanted, but she definitely got it. So something else that's interesting that happens, that comes out with this truth spell, is Piper is working under this manager at Quake that she doesn't really like. He makes her do everything and anything that he can. And Piper up announces to him that she's quitting, which is interesting because it's the first time Piper stood up for herself, but then when the 24 hours of the spell wears off, Piper ends up in a bit of a situation where she has to sort of deal with the situation all over again. But the good thing is she stands up to him even more than she did the first time, and even tells him he needs to hire some more chefs. So there you go. I quite liked this one in a couple of different ways. What I liked was how they went down that line of truth-telling. I think that's very interesting. We have some comical moments with the sisters, which is really good as well. But I think, yeah, for the best part, I liked that this was more than just a spell to vanquish a demon or something. It certainly was more intriguing. President A says, I wish I had that truth spell which lasted 24 hours. I know what you mean, President A. I wish I had it as well. It would be very interesting. But as they say, with great power comes great responsibility. So if you do come across a truth spell, be very responsible when you use it. Does anyone have any comments about Season 1, Episode 8? The truth is out there and it hurts. I guess the reason why it hurts is because Prue didn't get the answer she wanted. For Piper, I think it was a good thing. But yeah, maybe not necessarily for Prue. I'll give everyone a few minutes. If you've got any comments about this episode, please feel free to let me know. And then we'll move on to episode 9. Just a moment. Okay, well, we can go back and talk about them in general, I guess, but we'll move on to the next one for now. Season 1, Episode 9 is entitled The Witch is Back. So Prue is attacked by a warlock that their ancestor Melinda trapped inside a locket. The locket comes across Prue at the auction house. The three witches, Piper, Prue, and Phoebe, call upon Melinda, and the four work together to recapture him. What I liked about this was that it went back through their ancestry line. It's the first time that we meet Melinda, which is very interesting, and she has a really interesting chat with them outside of the Vanquish about, you know, all the genes that the Halliwells possess, from all the good things through all the bad things. But yeah, I just found it a really interesting episode because of the fact that they actually are happy to go back to that point and sort of research the family line a little more. Throughout the entire series, Melinda, of course, is the furthest back they can go, but I don't think they go to anyone too far back after Melinda. So again, it makes it an interesting episode because it's one of the few that actually talks about the family line, which ends up becoming very important later on in the series, the family line, for sure, especially when it comes to Vanquishers, but more on that when we get to that moment. So does anyone want to comment on Melinda Warren or anything about Season 1, Episode 9, The Witch is Back? Okay, well, there are no comments on that one. We'll move on to Season 1, Episode 10, called Wicca Envy. Now in this one, Prue is investigated for stealing a tiara, and the girls end up needing to vanquish Rex and Hannah. I found it interesting. I found it very interesting that the proposition that Rex makes to the girls in this episode, and I think it definitely, this episode is probably one of the biggest ones in the first season. Because Rex makes an offer to the girls, basically telling them that, you know, he won't reveal a secret. He has a secret about them if they give up their powers and give them to him. So this is the first time. This is the first time that we see the Charmed Ones give up their powers, and it's a really sad moment. Actually, they do a spell. And the book ends up being wiped clean. I'm just going to quickly comment on what is being said at the moment in the room. There's a bit of a discussion going on about the amount of people in the room, and they're not being reflected in the chat. I would say the same thing. I think there's at least 4 people in the room at the moment, and so we're missing 1 person who's just watching, or possibly 2 that are watching, and they're not commenting, but that's totally fine. Sometimes people like to come along and watch the chat but not really comment, but if you are one of those people that would like to comment, feel free to say hi. I would definitely give you a shout out if you do. And Alias has come up with an idea to draw new moderators. So people can enter drawings that we trust, and he'll do a video drawing the new mods. I think that's a great idea, Alias. I like that. Definitely something to put out there. So yeah, if you'd like to be considered to be a mod to take over Alias's role, yes, certainly leave a comment either here in the chat, or once the video uploads, leave it in the comment section below. That sounds like it would be a lot of fun. But yeah, there's definitely more people in the room than are talking at the moment, but that's fine. Sometimes people just don't want to talk, they just want to be here to watch the video, and that's totally fine. So yeah, Alias, I'll leave the trusting to your discretion. I'm sure you know who you can trust and who you can't, being one of my OG subscribers, just like President A. Yeah, so all in all, Wicker Envy was a very interesting episode, and we are lucky that in the end, the girls end up getting their power back thanks to Leo. So yeah, I'm glad that the Power of Three still existed after that, because it's a bit of a scary moment considering they're going to give up their powers. Very scary. All right, let's move on to season 1, episode 11, Feats of Clay. So in this episode, Phoebe's ex Clay shows up with an Egyptian urn that is cursed by a guardian to punish those who steal it. And Angels is here, so very quick to say hello. Hello, Angels. Thank you so much for being here. I found this episode to be a very interesting episode because of the Guardian of the Urn. This is something that we do not see again. We don't see another Guardian of an Urn. And to me, I think some people feel like the Guardian of the Urn is evil, but I don't think she is. I think she's very neutral, or if anything, she could be considered good, and here's why. The role of the Guardian of the Urn is simply to punish those who steal the urn and punish them for their greed. So I don't necessarily think that the Guardian of the Urn is an evil entity at all. As I say, they're either neutral or they're good. So obviously the Guardian of the Urn is after Clay, Phoebe's ex, and a couple of his friends who all together they stole the urn. And in the end, it's interesting how it all goes about. The Clay's 2 friends end up being killed by the Guardian, and then when it comes time for the Guardian to deal with Clay, Clay makes a selfless act, and the selfless act counteracts his selfish act of stealing the urn, and therefore he's allowed to live. So I found that whole concept really interesting. So yeah, okay. And the final episode we're going to talk about, I've probably gone to our general portion of this chat, is Season 1, Episode 12, entitled The Wendigo. Now, if you are a Charmed fan like me, you wouldn't need to know much more than the title of this episode, The Wendigo. It is referenced a few times throughout the series. So basically in this episode, Piper is attacked by this, I don't know, what would you call it, this ravaged beast, and she ends up exhibiting a lot of symptoms because of it, and in the end she finds out that this beast is known as a Wendigo, and Piper ends up becoming a Wendigo, so they have to do what they can to save her. So a little more on the Wendigo is that it's a creature that I believe steals people's hearts, something like that. It's, yeah, quite interesting. But anyway, we end up finding out that the Wendigo is a fellow agent who works with Andy. So that was very interesting. So it's sort of part mystery as well, which I really enjoyed. So if you have any comments on Season 1, Episode 12, The Wendigo, let me know, or any of the others at all that have come up this week. So don't forget that this week we covered episodes 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. If you have comments on those, please let me know. Otherwise, this week for homework, we're going to be doing 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. I definitely think it's better to be doing 6 episodes per chat rather than, say, just 1 or 2. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hand it over to you guys. If you guys want to talk about any of those episodes, please do. Please don't spoil any other episodes in case anyone here hasn't seen them. And otherwise, I'll turn a general chat over to you guys. If there's something you would like to talk about, comment below and let me know. Otherwise, yeah, how are things going with you guys? Once again, if you have just joined us, I do want to apologise for not being here for the social issues chat. I've been under the weather for the past couple of days, feeling a little bit better today, and so that's why I'm here tonight. We'll just have to see how things go. Also, if you are in the room or if you're watching this delayed, please do not forget to add our group on Facebook. That's right. I created a group a little earlier on today. Comment below and let me know group, so certainly go out and look for that. The reason that I created this group on Facebook is if there are any issues that come up regarding the chats or any videos or anything like that at all, I will contact everyone through the comment below and let me know group. Also, feel free to add me personally to Facebook. It is the best way to get in contact with me if you need to get in contact with me about anything. So Angels hasn't seen these episodes yet because the website keeps screwing up. I'm so sorry, Angels, that keeps happening. We really need to find a way to do what you need. I do have some ideas that I am willing to discuss with you, and I will definitely discuss them with you on Facebook. Please remind me. I keep forgetting to bring them up with you. Thank you for your comment about hoping that I'm feeling better. As I say, I'm feeling better than I was, so that's good. And hopefully I'll just continue to get better as the days go on. But yeah, I've been in a magical mood for the last couple of days since been watching some Charmed and also getting back into Sabrina the Teenage Witch, which I never thought I would do. But I started rewatching that series as well. So having a lot of magical time at the moment, which is quite good, all things considered. So what else is going on with you guys? I'll pass the proverbial microphone over to you and let you guys talk for the time being. Yeah, I don't know how long I'm going to be here this evening, but we'll see certainly how we go. Angel says Sabrina will feature in Riverdale. Yeah, so I heard about that, and I think that's really interesting. Do we know who's been cast to play Sabrina? I would assume it's not Melissa Joan Hart. But yeah, do we know? So yeah. Yeah, so we've got a moderator's draw that's happening at the moment. Alias is leading it, if you can see the comments. All you need to do is, yeah, if you're an original and you'd like to enter the drawing, let me know. So here we go. I'll leave you guys to do that. So we've got some very interesting episodes coming up. Finally, we're going to get to the episode that I've been wanting to talk to you guys about for so long. The first discussion of a white lighter. So, oh my gosh, I'm very happy that we're finally going to get to that, because I've been, as I say, wanting to talk about that for a while. Yeah, and some other good shows and other good episodes that are coming up as well. So I'm very happy about that. Angel says the talk of Melissa Joan Hart playing one of Sabrina's aunts. You can add my lot. Oh yay! That is really cool. That she'll play one of the talk of her playing one of the aunts. I think that's pretty cool. I wonder which one she will play. So Alice is asking if I should do the drawing on my channel or he can do it. I think you should do it, Alias. I think that's great. Something that you've organised, and you'll get full credit for it as well. So definitely, I'm happy for you to do it. And if you do it on your channel, I will definitely do a video referring to your channel for the video. So we'll get everyone over there to go to see your draw, which will be interesting. Yes. Yes, that's. I think, yeah, we've gotten through all the episodes now, which is pretty good. Got through them pretty quickly. So if there's anything else that you guys would like to discuss, certainly let me know. President A says, can't wait for Riverdale to come back. Missing it recently. Been missing it recently. Yeah, me too. I'm just looking forward to Riverdale coming back. How to Get Away with Murder as well. Definitely looking forward to Will and Grace. Huge news for Will and Grace fans is that it's already been picked up for a second season. So that's quite incredible, considering that, you know, we haven't even seen the first episode of this new season. But yeah, looking forward to that. And just as, did you draw the topic for our next issues chat, by the way, or will we wait till next week? So we'll wait till till Friday for that one, Angels. And on Friday you'll know what it is. And just, yes, I'm doing a Riverdale rewatch at the moment. Oh, awesome! Yeah, it's a really good show, Riverdale. I can't wait for it to come back and do reviews and live chats about it. We talk about the history, see if we can work out who the big bad is. Should be interesting. It's a great. There was a great setup in the finale, so yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where they go from there. But they've got a couple of ways they can go, so it'll be really interesting as well, which is good. Yeah. But yeah, regarding the social issues chat, I did draw out a topic, but I didn't do a video. It was put back into the box, and yeah, it'll be redrawn on Friday. Angel says, I think Hermione is the kingpin. There you go. I definitely think Hermione is guilty of quite a few things. We'll definitely have to wait and see. She definitely has the potential. President A says, the big bad will be revealed as Alex Drake. Of course it will be, because, you know, it can't be anyone else, can it? No. I'm definitely still thinking of doing our 2-month anniversary to PLL finale chat. So I think that should be really interesting as well, speaking of Alex Drake. Angel says, not Hiram, as they are making out so obviously that Hiram is the bad guy, and it's too obvious. Yeah, completely agree. It's going to be interesting seeing him come back into Riverdale, but yeah, I don't think that Hiram is the big bad at all. Hello, what is that? Oh, bless. Seriously. But yeah, we'll definitely be talking all things PLL, and that shouldn't be too far away. So, as I said, I think it's around the 28th or something. So yeah, probably about 2 weeks away or something like that. So yeah, that should be a lot of fun. Um, hmm. All right. Well, if there's anything else that you guys would like to discuss, throw it at me now. And yeah, again, don't forget that we are doing episodes 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. I think. Yes, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18 for next time. Angel says, I have now watched the show that we don't speak about finale 4 times, desperately hoping it gets better, but it has stayed the utter crap every time. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah, look, it's really sad, but they couldn't come up with something better than that. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. I have no idea what we're waiting and seeing because it's over. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see if Marlene comes up with something good. I don't know when The Perfectionist is coming out. I don't plan on watching it. As I said, I did watch Famous in Love. I quite liked Famous in Love, but I liked it because it wasn't a mystery. But yeah. It says, crap, if we do the PLL finale on the 28th, I won't be able to make it. Oh, that's totally fine, Elias. Thank you for letting me know. If you let me know soon enough, like you have, I can change the day. So that's good that you've told me. Yeah, let me know what days you are free, and I'll make sure that I work around that. Yes, I definitely would love all of our OGs for PLL to be at that time, so I'll do what I can. Angel says, is the Emerson spin-off meant to be The Perfectionist? I have no idea. Honestly, ever since the Alex Drake reveal, I haven't done too much research into Pretty Little Liars or INK, so I can't really say much about what Perfectionist is about. But if someone wants to risk it and go and watch the first episode and let me know if it's good or bad, then by all means do so, and we'll go from there. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Oh, Alias just said it, now it's been retracted. So yeah, so the 28th is a Monday. Oh, so you're saying do it before then? So you're saying do it on the 26th or the 27th? Yeah, we can do that. I don't mind doing that. That's totally fine. Yeah, so that will be very interesting going back and looking at yeah, how we feel about Paralyze now all this time. Interesting. We've got more people in the room now, which is really cool. So yeah, if you've just joined us, welcome to Show Club Chat. We're in the general phase right now, so we're just talking about whatever comes to mind, any sort of issues, social issues that are plaguing the world, anything to do with TV, movies, music, all the general stuff. So it's a lot of fun. So welcome to this fun second half of this Show Club Chat. It's great to have you guys. So if you are in the room and you haven't said anything, say hi. I'll definitely give you a shout out. Angel says, I watched one of our early discussion videos after my recent rewatch of the finale. We were so upset. Oh my gosh, we were. I rewatched my PLL finale video recently, and it reminded me of how upset I was. I might do a reaction of it at some point. Chocolate Factory Hunter is here. Hi. Saying, what is your weirdest dating experience? Oh goodness, that's a good question, isn't it? My weirdest dating experience. Let's see. Nothing too much out of the ordinary. I would have to say though that the weirdest dating experience for me was a time when I didn't know if I was dating someone or not. And I know that sounds really stupid, but I thought I was dating someone and it didn't look like it was being reciprocated. And in the end, I ended up writing that person a letter, as you do back in the day. And I never got a response from them. And the next thing I knew, because sadly we worked together, but the next thing I knew, I went into work and Hadn't seen him for a couple of weeks. He rocked up with his fiancée. So that was rather interesting. So I must say that was probably my weirdest dating experience, him walking in with his fiancée. So there you go. President A says, which was your favorite Descendants or Descendants 2? I would probably, it's a tough one. I'd probably say Descendants, but that's not to say I didn't like Descendants 2, because I did. I think I liked the music better in Descendants, with the exception of Space Between, because I did like that. But yeah, I think, yeah, overall I preferred Descendants, but that's not to say I hated Descendants 2, because I didn't hate it. I'm looking forward to the third one, if they're doing a third one. Which it looks like they might do, because they kept the end of the second one very open-ended. So we'll have to see. Angel says, my weirdest dating experience was with a guy who said he was Italian but was actually Kosovan. Why lie? Then an hour after I got home from my date, his girlfriend, who I knew from school, called me in tears, yelling at me that I was trying to steal her boyfriend when I had no idea he was attached. Isn't that amazing? You know, Samantha Jones has a very interesting line in Sex and the City, and the line she uses is, rings come off, you know, referring to married men. Yeah, I'm so sorry you're put in that situation. How very awkward. President A says, mine is being on a date and finding out afterwards the person was a celebrity and having no idea till it was too late. Oh, there you go. That's interesting. And Descendants 3 is rumored to be 2019. Okay, so we've got a couple of years before that comes out. But yeah, I'll be certainly intrigued to see the third one when it comes out, for sure. And I'm going back and forth between my favorites. People keep asking me who my favorite characters are in The Descendants. And I keep going back and forth. So now I say that I have two favorites, which are Carlos and King Ben. So they're my favorites. So there you go. What else? And it says, what's so interesting about Descendants? I think what's so interesting for me about Descendants is, first of all, the fact that they are descended from all of these characters that we grew up loving. You know, Descendants of Beauty and the Beast, Descendants of Cruella de Vil, Descendants of Maleficent. I mean, it goes on and on. So that's pretty cool, like seeing their kids. But what I like most about Descendants, and people my age will ask me what intrigues me so much about this film, because it's a film maybe for younger people. But what I love about Descendants is it talks about that polarity of good and evil. And I've always enjoyed films and shows that will discuss that polarity. But the great thing with Prince Ben at the time, or had he just become king, I don't know, was that he wanted to give these four so-called evil characters the chance to redeem themselves and become good. So I find the whole good-evil thing very intriguing. And so in the second film, one of the characters that came from an evil land to the good land goes back to the evil land and is struggling with who she is. And so that's what makes the second film just as interesting as the first one. So definitely I would recommend that everyone watch these films, because I think they are pretty good. So yeah, big thumbs up to them, that's for sure. Any other questions from you guys? Might take a quick drink. So yeah, not much else to report from this end. But we will, I'm sure, have some things to report during the week. As I said, I got another US delivery today, so I'm very happy about that. And Of course, don't forget we have Foster's coming up during the week. That's going to be a lot of fun as well because the episodes are getting really awesome and Jude is coming back. And if you don't watch the Fosters, forgive me. If you do watch the Fosters, you'll understand why I'm really happy that Jude is coming back. And just saying, yes, hi Dre, I'm failing on my duty since MC went MIA. And Alice is saying, yeah, where is she? I have no idea where MC is. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we're doing the videos too early for her. I honestly don't know. But yeah, Angel's saying, hope she comes back soon. Yeah, me too. We miss you, MC. No, I know that there are some people that will come to the chat around about 11:30, 12 o'clock. So I know that some people won't probably be here for another 15 minutes. But, you know, that's fine. See, the thing is I can only do the times that I can do, and I am thinking of changing sometimes to do when I'm available to do some during the day here in Australia, so I think that might make it easier for you guys in the United States. But yeah, I think it might just be a time zone thing. It's very likely that it is. I know for me, I find it really hard when I have American YouTubers that I follow and like by the time they're doing live chats, I'm asleep. So yeah, so I can understand it for sure. It's saying, when was the last time we saw her? Oh, it was a little while ago, probably about a week ago, I would say. Angel says, Alice's partner in crime is also not here. Chase might be INC soon. Yeah, he might be coming soon. Chase does come sometimes a little later. But Chase was on my comment below, let me know Facebook group earlier today. So I did talk to Chase there. Chocolate Factory Hunter says, my weirdest dating experience was when my girlfriend was married off to another guy. Oh, goodness. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, wow. That must be, wow. I don't know how I would deal with that. I'm so sorry to hear that. Dating experiences can be very weird though, that's for sure. You have to be careful, but there's really no way to protect your heart. And, you know, sometimes, you know, we have to go through these tough lessons in life. I'll never forget Carrie Bradshaw once saying, your 20s are to make the mistakes, your 30s are to learn from those mistakes, and your 40s are to buy the drinks. And I definitely feel like that's true because I'm in my very early 30s now, and I feel like I'm now starting to learn from the mistakes that I made in my 20s. But yeah, I'm so sorry to hear that. Chocolate Factory says, brings a new meaning to happy surprise. Well, there you go. That's true. Angel says, my current dating experience is a lot better. Fun times and much laughter and love with my Dutch toy boy. Oh, that's lovely, Angels. Yay. Yeah, I mean, I'm not dating at the moment. My last dating experience was with a guy who wasn't agoraphobic, but you would think that he was. From the way that he was acting, and I found that a little weird. You know, kept trying to like physically leave the house with him, and it just didn't seem to happen. But yeah, so that, you know, didn't work out so well for me. But I think at the end of the day, one of the biggest lessons I also have learned, again from Sex and the City, I mean, when you've got no one else to learn from Sex and the City, it's a great tool to use. Sometimes it is okay to be sass, single and fabulous. So Angel says, well, I say toy boy, but he's only like 3 to 4 years younger than me, so not much of an age difference really. There you go. That's cool. Sorry, Francie, what did you say about him? Didn't catch it. I buffered. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so I was just saying, no, he wasn't closeted. He was agoraphobic. He had fear of going outside. Well, at least I don't know if he was, but it was like he did. Anytime that I said, look, let's go out, let's go for a walk, let's do something, he just didn't want to leave the house. So, I don't know, I just found that really weird. There you go. Yeah. So we'll have to see where love goes from here. Yeah. Is what it is. All right. Anything else that you guys would like to discuss? Any other random questions you want to throw at me? And it says, was that recent? Relatively. Was within the last 2 years. And it says maybe he wasn't confident around people. That's the thing though. He worked in customer service, and when you work in customer service, you have to, like, because I've worked in customer service for the majority of my life, you have to have confidence around people. But you know, I don't know, maybe it's just, it was a thing. Yeah, I don't know what it was. And yeah, it was interesting. Angel says, one of these days I'm going to find some gorgeous gay European Adonis and send him in your direction. Oh, thank you, Angels. I would love that. Thank you very much. Hello, I am a delivery from Angels. That would be so lovely. Chocolate Chan says, do you also date girls? No, I don't. No, I am gay. I have dated girls before. No, I don't anymore. So there you go. That's that question dealt with pretty quickly. Yeah. So, all right. Well, anything else before we get going? Can't think of any general questions that you guys might have. We could start just firing off random questions. That could be fun. Angel said, it's quite funny that I am more involved in the gay scene than many of my gay friends. Yeah, it is funny. I have heard that though of some people that especially with straight women, that they can be more involved than their friends are. I'm trying to get back out and involved in the gay scene. I haven't been that involved with it of late. I've been obviously advocating for gay rights, and we have a postal mailing vote that's coming out next month here in Australia to legalise gay marriage, and so I'm doing a lot of advertising on that. But I haven't like caught up in social groups with like gay groups or anything like that for a very long time. So yeah. Have you ever got attracted to a girl? Yeah, of course, absolutely. I have. But yeah. So yeah, I have. But you know, it's it's just how it is. um, Angel says, if you do visit Amsterdam and London, we should definitely meet up and I'll take you around to all the best gay bars there are. Oh, thank you, Angels. That sounds awesome. So that would be a lot of fun. Especially to experience things like that overseas, which I'm sure will be very different to how they are here. Yeah, there'll be some commonalities, but you know, every country and city has its own little culture, so it would be really interesting. Some really fun places. Yay! Sounds like a lot of fun. That should be awesome. Yeah, so that's very interesting. Having a very interesting discussion this evening. It suddenly turned into a romance slash dating slash sexuality discussion, which is really interesting. Oh, they're really liberal, Angels. That's really cool, especially in Amsterdam. That doesn't really surprise me so much, especially in Amsterdam. But yeah, that's so cool. I love that. Like, I think I would have a lot of fun in London and Amsterdam going out to the clubs. I think that would be Yeah. Um, Let's see what some big questions are. Maybe I can ask you guys. Alright. Here's a good question. If you didn't have to sleep, what would you do with the extra time? I think that's a very good question. I don't necessarily know what I would do with the extra time. It's a good question. What do you guys think? And it says, yep, I've always noticed how liberal progressive Holland is. Yeah, same. So very jealous that I still haven't been there yet. And I keep hearing things from extended family, but yeah, I can't wait to go there and signal. Try to sleep. I like that. Good one, angels. Let's see what other questions we have. If you could choose any fictional place, what fictional place would you most like to go to? That's interesting. President A will watch clips on YouTube. I like that. A fictional place. Gosh, there's so many. It will be Magic School in Charmed, which we don't know about. Okay, I'm going to take that back. We haven't gotten up to that yet. Angel says for the day, oh yes, that's a good option. I can easily get carried away watching random clips on YouTube, then realize hours have passed. I know, right? So true. Let's see. There's some questions here that just are really hard but interesting. And it says, I think I requested to join the group. Oh, excellent. The evil place on Descendants. I like that. I'll go to Facebook and see your request. There we go. I just approved you. What is the group, Angels? So on comment below, let me know, obviously. On Facebook, I have now created a comment below and let me know official Facebook page, which I think is pretty cool because it's the best way for me to get in contact with all of you if something were to happen. So like with Friday when I had to cancel the social issues chat, I can just go onto the comment below and let me know Facebook page and let everyone know if the chat's been cancelled. It was one of the biggest issues that I was having with when I had to cancel the chat and didn't know how to get in contact with everyone. So now I'm asking everyone to join the comment below and their Facebook page so that I can, so I can notify everyone of what's going on. Not necessarily just cancellations, but also other things that may be going on as well. Or if there's a chat that's just coming up out of the blue, I'll put that up there as well and let everyone know how long you have to uh, till the chat starts. So yeah. Oh, here's a good one. If you could make one rule that everyone had to follow, what rule would you make? Well, I will jump in first, yeah. And I would say to be a rule of citizen equality. So, you know, no matter who you are, you know, everyone's treated equally. So yes, we still have people who work higher up and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, civil liberties are extended to everyone, and there's no exceptions to that. So that would be the one rule that I would create. What about you guys? That should be the norm anyway. Yeah, completely agree. It should be. Unfortunately, it's not, but it should be. All right, I'll ask a couple more questions and then I will have to go. If you had to change your name, what would you change it to? Very interesting that that question should come up because if you guys follow me on Twitter, you may realize that on Twitter my name is Mark Braxton. There was a time when I thought I was going to need to change my name. So during that time, I started calling myself Mark Braxton, and I got as far as filling out the paperwork, but decided not to hand it in the end. But yeah, so there we go. Alias says, don't be mean to people on social media or the real world. That's a very good rule. I like that. Angel says, I live my life like that is the norm. And that's really good. Renee says, you stole mine. Everyone must spread love, not hate. Oh, I love that. That's so cool. Yay. It's really interesting, you guys, actually, speaking of spreading love and not hate, I was talking to my dad earlier today, and the topic of the war came up. I know that different people will, I love that, Peter Hastings. Jose, very interesting. I know that different people at different generations, different nations, you know, think of the war differently. For me, I appreciate what everyone has gone through in the past when they've gone to war, but I don't like to talk about it. And the reason I don't like to talk about it is because I feel like I'm advocating it if I talk about it. I much rather talk about every other possible way under the sun to deal with situations rather than going to war. So my comeback to my dad was, well, people should talk rather than fight. And it may sound completely unrealistic, and that's because everyone's so used to, you know, grabbing their weapons and fighting. But I don't know, I just wanted to know what you guys' opinion is on the war. Like, again, I'm not besmirching anyone who fell in the war or who fought for their country for the war, because it is, and obviously it's a noble thing to do to defend your country, but yeah, just in general, what you guys think. And just as I can't imagine my name being anything else now, I agree. And it says, all right, Angels, you're in. Lovely. Angel says, it has helped to forge my identity after all, so weaknesses or strengths. My name is part of who I am. No name seems to appeal to me. There you go. I like that. So yeah, so what's your opinion on the war? Do you have any? If so, let me know. And it says, you'll even know what I look like. Yes, you look like Alex Hastings, or whatever her name is, Alex Drake. So we finally know what you look like, Alias. Yeah, Peter Hastings is a good one. I love that. President A with Peter Hastings. That's pretty good. Alright, do I have any more? Well, that's a good one. What's the best or worst piece of advice you've ever received? I like that it goes on both polarities. The best or worst piece of advice you've ever received. Oh, that's right, Elias. You were AD's partner. Right. So you're Rin. Angel says, but I have no real comment on the war. I'm just happy it is in the past and I'm pretty anti all wars if at all possible. That's a good stance to have, Angel. I agree. Chocolate Factory Hunter says, but got to admit, 1950s was a time where people had class. True. There's a great song on the Film Chicago soundtrack album, basically called Class. It talks about, you know, whatever happened to everything that there used to be. Class is certainly not as it used to be, that's for sure. It says, no, I was Emoji. Oh, so who was Emoji? Oh, I'm so confused. So, there we go. Right. Alright, guys. That's a good point, Angels. Who was Emoji? I don't think we ever got an answer on that. So I tried to answer that in my, what do you call it? Rewritten version of PLL, but I don't think it was actually answered in the series. Yeah. And just wait, hang on. If Alex was an emoji all along, why did she suddenly start not doing emojis and call herself AD? Exactly, it doesn't make sense. Oh, Angel, seriously, when we get to this chat, we're going to be right back where we were. Like, hang on, what about this? What about that? What about that? Exactly, it makes no sense. And it says the worst piece of advice is don't do stupid stuff because I'll do it anyways. There you go. I think like it's like along the same lines as the advice, don't do anything I wouldn't do, because I find that so confusing. It's not precise enough. It's like, okay, I don't know what you wouldn't do, and I'm not going to be spending this half an hour trip thinking about what you wouldn't do. And just saying it will send down blood pressure. Yes, it definitely will. But then he says, if you could pick someone to be president or prime minister, who would it be? Thought Dr. Rollins was emoji. There you go. Do you mean from PLL or do you just mean in general? Can you guys see me? I'm actually buffering on my end at the moment. I might just refresh the page. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so President A, are you referring to from PLL or do you mean in general? Yeah, I was buffering too. And this is okay. I never worked with Alex. Nice. Yeah, can you guys see me? Um, I think we're having some problems. That's buffering. Oh no. Let's try refreshing this again. I'm guessing it's all going to be caught on when it's saved. So hello, delayed people. um, oh no. Oh gosh, this is not good. I think I may have to end this chat. Okay. And it looks like we're still buffering. And if that's the case, I might actually end this. Oh! Oh, it looks like I'm back. Oh, and now it's buffering again. Um, if you are delayed and you can hear me or see me, sorry about this. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to end this broadcast now and hopefully see you guys very soon. Again, if you can hear me, give someone out there that you love a hug, make love and not war. Big hugs and kisses to all of you, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye, guys.